All right, Vince, thanks. As we get the latest on the number one, as he is still trying to figure that baby out. And as we go back up front, Kevin Harvick, boy, he has got himself one heck of a race car right now. Oh, hold on, right at the start-finish line. The 10 car has gone around with Taylor Malsom on board.
Slowing down.
I don't know if he got any help on this.
Well, I see his left rear tire looks like something's been rubbing against it. I don't know if there's another car.
Yeah, they were
Probably
racing
so.
in a pack there.
It brings out our second caution here, and lap number 36.
He was running back in the 27th spot at the time.
Here we go. Let's take another look.
Oh, yeah, that's just a, yeah, he got a little bit of help there. Fortunate nobody got into him after that or didn't hit anything, so come get some tires and work on his car a little bit.
The 81 of Michael McDowell will get the lucky dog.
They didn't get that tire right rear changed. They were trying to beat the caution car out.
Drive. I have no drive.
Well, you just heard him say he had no drive.
They got no right rear.
Let's update you also. Mike Bliss has come back out on the track. He's 21 laps down. LePage and Cope are officially out. Morgan Shepherd has taken it behind the wall. And we mentioned McDowell will get the lucky dog. He is 2 laps down. That'll get one of those back. So here we are completing lap 36. And you can see everybody laid out getting ready for a round of pit stops.
And pit road was closed that time by. It'll open up this next time the pace car comes by.
Heading down into 3. We'll wait to see.
This is one place that 18 team has been so strong is on pit road. So I would expect Kyle would gain a few spots here maybe, but none of them came.
No.
And it was open. The green flag or the green light was on. So
yep.
See the 7 cars to taker here. Looks
That's
like Joe Nemechek.
Eric Almirola. He's the first to come down. You're right.
Ryan
Joe
Newman.
Nemechek. Elliott Sadler, Ryan Newman. You'd expect that. Michael Annett. And there's Almirola as they go to work.
These are cars that probably needed some adjustments, and taking this time to go ahead and do it and get a little bit off sequence. If we have another caution after 10 or 12 laps, they can stay out.
Yeah, they could stay out. It gives them an option of staying out the next time, or maybe just getting 2 tires and getting some track position that way, depending on how many laps they may have on a set of tires. But this car definitely Ryan Newman needed some adjustment.
Well, don't forget also for Ryan Newman, as you continue to watch the pit stop on Elliott Sadler, Newman has failed to finish in 4 of his last 5 starts. And here he comes back out. Sadler's going to beat him out. Stay with us. Just went back to green flag racing with Kevin Harvick ahead of Clint Boyer, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin. That's your top 5. And you can see Hamlin's got his side panel full of the 60 of Carl Edwards.
You can see, especially on these restarts, these guys trying to make this high line work, at least for the first 5 or 6 laps. Maybe they can make up a couple of spots. Edwards, though, not going to look like he's going to get by Denny Hamlin in the 20, but you see Kyle Busch is up to that 4th spot now.
The top 24 stayed out. We can also update you that Morgan Shepherd's back out on the track. He's 6 laps down. Only 2 cars out of the race right now.
I don't think that 33 car, Kevin Harvick's, has been off of that yellow line on the bottom there, the racetrack, more than about 12, 15 inches at any point in time so far. He really has it hooked up.
These guys have been beating on each other for the last few laps. There's a group of 4 with Ryan Truex alongside the 34 of Tony Raines, 62 of Brendan Gaughan, and Elliott Sadler. On the right side of your screen, Denny Hamlin and Carl Edwards with Paul Menard.
This would be a good indication of what tires may do. The 88 and the 1 there of Elliott Sadler and Ryan Newman have fresher tires. See how far up in this order they can get.
On the right side of your screen, that's the battle for 5th. On the left, it's the battle for 15th.
Best case scenario would for them to be able to get another caution here in the next few laps. They would stay out and then be able to steal a lot of track position.
Coming down the backstretch, here's this group as there is Elliott Sadler along with the 38 of Jason Leffler. Now, Leffler started 9th. He's fallen back. Here is all of a sudden a battle going on between Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch.
And right there's where Kyle would be talking about that loose issue that he had, being able to stay in the throttle and make it down to the next corner where he's side by side and maybe make a little gain through the center of the corner. But on the inside, you're losing a little arrow also, and then you've got a loose condition on top of that. Makes it very difficult to make that pass. Doing a nice job staying beside 22 of Keselowski.
You know, the last couple of laps, Brad's actually taken his line a little higher. I don't know whether that's being forced by the issue of Kyle being down there, and he doesn't want to take any chances of getting into it.
Well, this kind of takes us back to Bristol. These two cars were racing for the win, and Kyle spent a lot of time on the bottom side trying to get by Keselowski.
Yeah, and you got to remember, Brad's on probation till the end of the year. Kyle's not.
Well, they're not, and you know those guys aren't thinking about that right now. They're thinking about this race. And on top of that, these guys don't have a lot of these cars, and they do have another race coming up in just about a month at Charlotte. And so, you know, they're not going to tear these things up intentionally unless something else starts happening. As we see the 88 and the 1 continue their march forward.
And they've sort of gotten into formation here as they are marching their way back up.
I think we can see that certainly tires are going to make a difference for late race strategies, but I'm sure that these guys also took the opportunity to work on their cars. Whoa, 3 wide here.
Almirola gets underneath the 6. Whoa, look out. Gahn almost got into the 34.
Yeah, it looks like Brendan Gaughan's having a little problem with his car right in the center of the corner. I think that may be what happened whenever he got into the 04. You can see he almost got into the 34 that time. So his car is not to his liking exactly through the center of the corner.
Joe Nemechek having a nice run. He was also one of the cars that pitted him that last caution along with the 7.
That's the battle for 19th between those two. And it looks like Nemechek is going to clear him, so yes. Parker Kligerman getting passed by Ryan Newman. What's going on, Vince?
Yeah, that team is certainly benefiting from coming in and getting fresh tires and making an air pressure adjustment. Ryan says the car feels much better. Of course, it would on that fresh rubber, but also they believe that they were going to be at a little bit of an advantage tonight because of the fact that Ryan has so much experience in the Cup car compared to so many of the other competitors, and they did believe that there are things that translate between the Cup car and this new Nationwide Series car. So they really thought they were going to have a good run where some of the other teams might be a little bit behind, that they were going to be able to take advantage of Ryan's ability and experience here tonight. They were a little loose to start, but better now that they've made those adjustments.
Well, Ryan's got him back up to the 12th position, Andy.
Well, we've run enough laps now that these cars that took tires are probably hoping that we'll have a long green run. If they have a long green run here, they'll be able to drive their way almost to the very front of the pack.
Look at this action with Almirola going underneath Michael Annett and the 16 of Darnell. While this is going on, we'll tell you that Rookie of the Year leader Brian Scott is behind the wall. Don't know exactly why. Also, Morgan Shepherd has gone back behind the wall. Stenhouse, Kligerman, side by side. That is for 13th on the racetrack.
No, just see every lap here of passing, racing going on. Some guys with tires, some guys just losing the handle of this car. You can see Almirola stick the nose of his Chevy in there. The inside of Kligerman's going to probably make this pass the time they get to turn 3.
We're only talking about 35 laps of green flag racing on these tires, but once we saw those cars get fresh tires, it made a big difference.
Well, that battle's calmed down. Let's check in on the race leader. Kevin Harvick's got 0.8 of a second lead over Clint Boyer, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, and Elliott Sadler's moved into the top 10. It only took him 12 laps to move up 14 spots. But Kevin Harvick's been the man. He's led all 55 so far. Welcome back to the Virginia 529 College Savings 250. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. And also make sure to go to Goodyear.com to check out Goodyear's Support Our Troops program. There you can send a thank you message from a NASCAR driver, enter for a chance to win a 2011 Ford Taurus or other great prizes. Race lead has been in the hands of Kevin Harvick since the drop of the green flag 63 laps ago. He has a 1-second lead over Clint Boyer. Then it's another second back to Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Carl Edwards. Round out your top 5. Biggest car on the move has been Elliott Sadler. Remember, he started at that last pit stop, and he is now up to 8th after restarting 26th. And there he is coming into screen.
You see he's moving in on the back bumper of Denny Hamlin. But I don't know if it's just the tires or the adjustment, exactly what it was, but you can see Denny Hamlin struggling, Dave.
Yeah, he's the biggest mover in the wrong direction right now. He started 5th, drove up to 3rd, and has now fallen back to 8th with that pass. So for Hamlin, in qualifying, the car was, quote, real tight. Now, there are a few adjustments you can do to make it looser. Well, the whole first run here, it has been very, very loose. So Denny's been struggling. And oh, by the way, he pointed out something else we already know about these cars as compared to their Cup cousins. There's not much power in these. He wishes he had more throttle to work with.
How many times have we heard that from the guys that do double duty? Check in on the battle between the 99 of Trevor Bayne and Justin Allgaier, 2 nationwide regulars. That's a battle for 9th. And Brian Scott, we told you, is behind the wall, and Dr. Jerry Punch has caught up with him. Doc?
Yeah, Rookie of the Year points leader Brian Scott. You see the hood up on the car. They have a leak in the front of the car. Let me ask Brian what's going on here. Brian, what happened?
I guess the oil line on the oil, or the line that goes to the oil cooler on the radiator broke. And, you know, when it rains, it pours. It's just the luck right now for this number 11 BigSpot.com team. We can't catch a break from just the bad luck at Atlanta and mechanical problems there to, you know, that wreck early on at Watkins Glen and so on and so forth. We can't catch a break, and I hate it because we were all really looking forward to this new car race, having BigSpot.com back on, and I guess such is life right now. I don't know what we got to do to change our luck, but we got to do something. Guys are working really hard, and you know, this isn't for a lack of hard work or effort or anything, just a mechanical failure that nobody can see coming.
Brian Scott behind the wall. They're trying to get it fixed and get him back out. 12-point lead over Ricky Stenhouse in the Rookie of the Year standings, guys.
And what he's talking about, Brian's finished 25th or worse in the last 3 races. On the left side of your screen, battle for 6th as Elliott Sadler has got himself a race car, guys.
Well, he's taking advantage of getting those fresh tires at a good, opportune time, and now he's had quite a few laps to make up some ground, and man, has he done it.
You know, in this series, the truck series, they're doing exactly the things that Elliott's running these races for. It's showing the talent that Elliott Sadler has as a race driver to, you know, unfortunately, the Cup series has been very difficult for him, but he has a tremendous amount of talent and been able to show that. Nice run here tonight.
Well, Sadler won the pole and finished 3rd in his last start back in Bristol. He was in the 33 car in that race. Speaking of the 33, there is Kevin Harvick, and now 1 second lead over Clint Boyer. And then a little bit further back, almost 2 seconds back, is Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski. And then the 22, as we mentioned, in 4th place. And let's listen in to the radio.
It just be me, but my motor sounds terrible.
It's been that way the whole race or just start?
Just start.
Let's take a look at your gauges for everybody.
Water 235, oil 260.
And he slipped back a couple of positions in 4th right now. He said he thinks he has a broken inner valve spring. Of course, these cars feel different, so he's experiencing different feelings than he's used to in his 22 car. Of course, the points leader, though, that's somebody we want to keep an eye on and watch what happens if this problem does get any worse, Marty.
All right, thanks, Jamie.
Yeah, and I can tell you, as these cars slow down because of that lack of horsepower that they have, they're down running between 23 and a half, 24 seconds. The slower you go, the more it makes you feel like there is something wrong, and even sounding like something wrong because it changes the pitch and the tune of the engine.
If it is an inner valve spring, that is bad news, because that will get worse as the race goes on. And we'll go down to our Craftsman Tech Garage, and Tim Brewer can explain a little bit about it.
Thanks, Andy. The valve spring's right here in this area right here. But the trick is the inner spring, we run double springs here. And what that does, it dampens the forces of the harmonics in the spring itself. It'll hang on for a little while, but if you have any issues later on, when it breaks this retainer right here, it's going to go down, land on top of that piston. The day's going to be over, guys.
And from the Craftsman Tech Garage, thanks, Tim, as we come back out on track, as lap traffic is obviously in the mix now, as you got Eric McClure in the 24. He steps aside. Carl Long gets way down low, and Carl and Brad are able to continue on 4th and 5th. Kevin Harvick continues to lead, but his lead's been cut by 0.3 of a second. Could be because of the lap traffic. That's Michael McDowell about to go 2 laps down in 38th.